yoga itself is really about learning how to get in touch with yourself. It's this tool for really kind of uncovering and unearthing who you really are. As you move and as you learn to breathe, you open up certain aspects of yourself. You release tension, you release emotion, but you also start to realize the habits that we have in life and the way that we move through our lives. And when we become more sensitive to the way that we are to certain situations or maybe in a certain posture in yoga, if we can understand how we treat our mind and our bodies in relation to a challenge, then we can start to overcome the challenge.
If I need to do something and for whatever reason, I can't do it the way I really want to do it, then I know, well, there are other avenues, or I can make a little modification here, just like in yoga class. A little modification, and I can come into the pose. My eyes are closed, so I'm not comparing myself to anyone else. It's mindfulness, and we all need to be mindful of our own behavior, of our own thoughts.
And some of the poses are hard for me. I don't care. I am concentrating on letting go of that tension and forcing myself to do it and relaxing into it, and it gets better and better. But it has transferred to in other aspects of my life, because the things that bothered me the most are really not so important anymore.
If we get into a posture that's really difficult for us, but we're not willing to modify it, we're probably not willing to modify certain things in our life either. So it's important to pay attention to your limits, understand your boundaries, and then if you need help, to get help. Okay, so using a block, using a bolster, using a strap, whatever it is that you need to help modify the posture so that you can get into it without hurting yourself is a way of understanding yourself. It's giving yourself an aid and a prop so that you can get into these postures comfortably, efficiently, and so that you get the most benefit out of it. So that if we just start to analyze how I act on the mat is how I also am going to attack most of my issues in life. And if I can start to address those issues and be calmer and gentler and kinder to myself on the mat, I'll most likely take it out into the world with me.
And I look around and try to catch up with poses. And he said, well, they're wobbling, it's okay. So it's okay to be wobbly and being stiff, and you get better, and there's no criticism or anything. It's just freedom. It's not like you go to the gym and everybody is wanting to outdo somebody. You just do your own thing for yourself.
People do think that yoga's for these young, fit, Gumby type people who can stretch and bend and do any manner of dynamic posture. But the truth is most of the population is more like me. They're a little bit older. Really, my population is about 45 to 65. That's my age group. So yoga can be for anybody. It can, and we can respond to it. But yoga really has helped me become more accepting of my body and where I am in my own life, and the challenges that I'm going through. I'm not 20 anymore. My feet hurt whenever I get out of bed and walk to the bathroom in the morning. I've had children. I've had C-sections. I've got I'm going through menopause, for heaven's sakes, So anybody can accomplish a certain level of comfortability in a yoga class. You don't have to be 20 years old in order to get something out of it. It really is for everybody. Don't you find?
Yeah, I think sometimes when you see those yoga magazines and you see those beautiful people on the front that are impossibly thin, wearing these very, almost very revealing outfits that just show these incredible bodies, and they're doing these impossible postures, it looks a little intimidating.
It is intimidating.
If that's all I saw of yoga, I would be afraid to come to class. I would feel like I wouldn't.
You know what? Yesterday, I met two sweet little ladies down at Farmer's Market. I was buying some plants, and they noticed the sticker on my car, and they said, what's your, do you think we could come to yoga? And I said, of course you could come to yoga. And they were like, well, tell us about it. Is it a bunch of young people? And I was like, absolutely not. It's right in your age group, and you could do it, and just come and try it out. But I think that people are so intimidated by what they think it's going to be that it keeps them from just walking in the door. It's such a small amount of the population that actually look like what you see in commercials and in magazines and in ads. Yoga Journal is pretty good, especially lately, about putting realistic sized people in their postures and on their cover, and really promoting the idea that yoga is for everybody. All the many faces, different age groups, different ethnicities, different sizes. You don't have to be, like I said, you don't have to be that really thin 20-year-old. And not that there's anything wrong with that either. You know,
It's great if you can do it.
it's fantastic, and we've all been there. We're just not there anymore. You know, and so just really kind of embracing where you're at, and yoga's good about helping us embrace who we are, where we are, and then the season of life that we're in.